Kenyan music has lost a young voice whose story was as powerful as it was painful. Stoopid Boy, the rapper from Gota City, Nairobi's Embakasi East, rose from the streets to national recognition through the explosive urban tone hit G-Bag na Jaga. But behind the fame, viral videos and collaborations with some of Kenya's established artists was another story. A story of financial difficulties, personal struggles, rehabilitation setbacks, and an artist who was still trying to rebuild his life. On August 27, 2026, news of Stoopid Boy's death shocked his fans, friends, and the entire Gota City community. Today, we look back at his music journey from the streets of Gota City to national fame, the difficult period that followed, and the unfinished dreams he left behind him. Stoopid Boy, whose real name has been reported as Edgar Waitito, was closely associated with Gota City, also known as a river banker in Nairobi's Embakasi East. For him, Gota City was more than just a neighborhood. It became part of his identity. His music reflected the language, humor, and everyday experiences of Nairobi's estates. Like many young artists coming from the grassroots, a Stoopid Boy was trying to turn his creativity into a career. And then came the song that changed everything. In 2024, Stoopid Boy gained national attention through G-Bag na Jaga. The song became closely associated with the rapid rise of Kenya's urban tone movement. Its catchy hook, Sheng heavy lyrics, and street energy made it highly shareable on social media. The official music video was released in January 2024, and the song quickly gained attraction. Its success eventually led to a major remix featuring established names including Major, Breeder LW, Goditena, and Spoiram. For young artists from Gota City, this was a major breakthrough. Suddenly, Stoopid Boy was no longer known only within his neighborhood. His name was being mentioned alongside some of the biggest names in Kenya's urban music scene, but fame didn't necessarily translate into financial stability. One of the most striking aspects of Stoopid Boy's story was the contrast between his growing popularity and the reality of his life. Even after G-Bag na Jaga became a major street anthem, reports indicated that he continued experiencing financial and personal difficulties. He documented his life in Gota City, showing fans that becoming famous didn't automatically mean escaping the challenges of his environment. He also continued releasing and featuring on different songs. His catalog included projects such as Sangwangwa, Gangster Lover, Sherehe, Mareka, Wacha Mastim, Kawom, and other collaborations, but none of the releases managed to reproduce the enormous impact of G-Bag na Jaga, and that became one of the difficult realities of his career. He had experienced the breakthrough, but maintaining that momentum proved much harder. Stoopid Boy also publicly spoke about his struggle with alcohol and substance use. In early 2025, he appeared on Ogo Bina's platform and acknowledged that drinking had become a serious problem in his life. That conversation eventually led to efforts to get him into rehabilitation. According to reports, Ogo Bina, together with Dr. Castro, King Fizele, and other well-wishers, helped Stoopid Boy enter a 3-month rehabilitation program. During rehabilitation, there was a sense of hope. He reportedly gained weight, continued working on music, and spoke about changing his life. For many people watching his journey, it appeared that Stoopid Boy was being given another opportunity to rebuild himself. But recovery is rarely a straight line. After returning from rehabilitation, he reportedly struggled with isolation, depression, and the difficult transition back into his previous environment. There were also reports of relapse and disagreements with people who had been supporting him. At one point, he even talked about stepping away from music and focusing more on content creation. Despite everything he had gone through, Stoopid Boy didn't completely give up on music. In fact, reports indicate that he remained interested in recording and was still looking for opportunities to work with producers in 2026. He had unreleased music and ambition for another breakthrough, and this is perhaps one of the most painful parts of his story. According to his friend and fellow artist Raven Domi, Stoopid Boy was still working on music shortly before his death. Domi said he had seen Stoopid Boy the day before and that the rapper appeared to be in good spirits. The two spent time together before Stoopid Boy said he was going to the studio to continue recording. He had plans, he had unfinished projects, and he still had dreams. Then came devastating news. On August 27, 2026, friend and fellow artist confirmed that Stoopid Boy had died. His death sent shockwaves through Gota City and Kenya's entertainment community. His friend Raven Domi was among those spoke about the loss, describing the neighborhood as being in mourning. The exact circumstances surrounding Stoopid Boy's death had not been fully established in initial reports, and claims about the cause of death should therefore be treated with caution until the authorities or the family provide confirmed information. What is clear is that a young artist who had fought his way into Kenya's music conversation was suddenly gone. Stoopid Boy's story is bigger than one song. Yes, G Bagna Jag made him famous, but his legacy is also about where he came from. He carried Gota City with him. He showed the country the streets that shaped him. He demonstrated how an artist from an estate could take a local sound mix, it with sheng and street culture, and reach audiences across Kenya. His journey also reminds us that fame doesn't automatically solve personal problems. Behind every viral song is a human being. Behind every entertainer is a person facing challenges that the public may never completely see. Stoopid Boy was still pursuing music song shortly before his death. He had unfinished projects, he had ambitions, and he had a story that was still being written. Sadly, that story has now come to an end. His music, however, remains, and whenever G Bagna Jag plays, many Kenyans will remember the young voice from Gota City who briefly turned a street anthem into a national phenomenon. Rest in peace, Stoopid Boy. This is not just the story of a musician who became famous, it's a story of a young Kenyan artist who experienced the high of fame and the lows of struggle, the hope of recovery, and the pain of unfinished journey. If you follow Stoopid Boy's music, tell us in the comments which Stoopid Boy song will you remember him from, and remember to subscribe for more Kenyan entertainment stories, tributes, and breaking news. Inshallah, God bless you.